too, because this actually really made headlines yesterday. And, you know, people were commenting about it. And, you know, it was really sad seeing, you know, friends, you know, reacting like in such a manner. And the question that many people were asking is, where is, you know, the world going to? Because, you know, like, just imagine your friend resorting to such acts, and where is the world going?
Is it hatred that people keep, you know, in their hearts, emotions that they maybe haven't resolved, or conflict that is unresolved? Because something as minor as that, you would want to sit down and talk about it.
Exactly.
But maybe it's because of piling. This is why I say sometimes, if even a friendship, if it doesn't work out, leave, move away. Just like, you know, we have been encouraging people in marriages, like, just leave, other than resorting to violence. Because this is, you know, I read the first story. It's about a man killing a man. Yes. The second story is a man killing a man. Now,
all right, so now some of the comments I wrote. Cosmas Mumba says, the neighbors trying to stop the fight, not making sense to me. Just watching assaults, and in the morning they see the smoke, you know, even, and just like that. Then someone also says, you know, it's the comments are even lost. But anyway, this is what actually people are saying. Now, moving on the stories, some UPND councillors in Mambwe District, Eastern Province, have condemned Chipangali Town Council Chairperson Maxon Koma for his recent remarks questioning the endorsement of President Hakainde Hichilema by councillors. Mr. Koma, who also serves as the vice chairperson of the Local Government Association of Zambia, LGAZ, had publicly claimed that the endorsement was stage-managed. Speaking to PTV2 News in Mambwe, the councillors accused Mr. Nkoma of being ungrateful to President Hakainde Hichilema. Jumbe Ward councillor highlighted that the development projects Mr. Nkoma often cites in Chipangali are direct result of President Hakainde Hichilema's initiatives, specifically through the you know, Enhanced Constituency Development Fund. Details are in the following report.
To the contrary, when the head of state came, councillors were forced to stage manage endorsements, which issues councillors had not previously sat to agree to endorse anyone. We want to put it very categorically that the Local Government Association of Zambia is a non-partisan organization. All councillors across the country, all councils are affiliated to the Local Government Association of Zambia. So when they are invited by central government, they are bound to attend the meeting because local government work with the central government in terms of implementing policies and programs of central government. What happened is the state managed the endorsement.
This statement by Chipangali Town Council Chairperson Maxon Nkoma on the endorsement of President Hakainde Hichilema has not settled well by some UPND councillors in Malambo constituency of Mambwe District. The councillors are accusing Mr. Nkoma of being ungrateful to the president who has helped him to deliver development in Chipangali.
The endorsement of the Republic, to say that the endorsement was done on merit according to what the president has done. So I want to appeal to Chipangali Town Council Chairperson, Mr. Maxon Nkoma, let him stay away from the Republican president. If he want to compete, let him compete with us, not the Republican president. No. Even his leader, Blani Mnduwire, is far away from the Republican president.
A number of developments that have happened in Chipangali there is quarters of President Hakainde Hichilema. Yes. So how come today he wants to bite a finger that feeds him? Let us have respect. We endorse the President Hakainde Hichilema based on his deliverables.
The councillors have ever maintained that the endorsement of President Hichilema by all councillors still stands.
As the civic leaders, we are the people who are directly benefiting from the policies of this leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema. So we are really behind him tiri kumbuyo kwake ndipo tupempha charo chonse kuti tiye ntisebenze naye.
Tiri na freedom lomba tiri nditu mumtendere kamba ka leadership ya president watu. So tonse nisogwirizana ndiponso tizindikira kuti pomwe tilungena mmasankho ya 2026 zonse zinthu zopita kale sitingaothe moto wozima president papa.
Christopher Basilio Banda, Prime TV News in Mambwe District of Eastern Province.
All right, so moving on in SESHEKE, SESHEKE Member of Parliament Romeo KANGOMBE has urged parents and guardians to desist from taking underage girls for initiation ceremonies. Mr. KANGOMBE says the growing trend has significantly contributed to the rise in child marriages and early pregnancies among young girls in the district. So the lawmaker made the remarks during the official handover of two 1x3 classroom blocks at LILANDA and Kate primary schools. More details in this report.
Today, the community of LILANDA and Katete in SESHEKE district are celebrating the construction of two 1x3 classroom blocks built by SESHEKE Town Council using CDF in showcasing the government's commitment to providing quality education in public schools. Addressing the community members, SESHEKE Member of Parliament Romeo KANGOMBE urged parents to prevent their children from participating in initiation ceremonies, as this can lead to harmful traditional practices and early marriages.
Makela sona mwana, wakona kuzo president. Kono zeo likona kona alhaiba kuli lunaba shemi lususuweza banana kuyaka hii kwa likolo. Hangata neba luto wambolanga ni mina. Kuna nintu elimi yenisa siyangi yeni zeni mieleza na kokao fela. Kukashiza banana kwa skolo kintu ya buto kwa kufita kuungaba na inyana baba sizani. Kubaisa haka hii? Kwa manyalo, kwa likenge. Irintu weza kulinebe mtope akaende waibira ya lakakuli. Lilimoka fela palo ya vale bandana wake na mamanyalo kakuitanela. Yeba eza rekodi vale wa social fair. Izama yezo chwani? Izama iya mwalimu.
SESHEKE District Commissioner Alex Namenda highlighted the peace brought about by President Hakainde Hichilema in the country.
Under President Hichilema's leadership, Zambia is experiencing peace, which we must not take for granted, and thus we have seen economical stability. This has created an enabling environment for development, and we are proud to be part of it.
Additional speakers include SESHEKE Town Council Chairperson and CDF Committee Chairperson David Hankede, who shared their thoughts on the constituency development fund.
Kachenule akuna mushemi alifela mwanana kwa skolo. Nji? Waka indiane wakulelanga uti namuka ni votela banana bagake na skolo samahala. Baba mune wakulelanga uti akainde ukazusa kaimali ya kuisa banana kwa skolo samahala. Njichwani? Kono kiyo, grade 1 to grade 12, akuna mushemi alifela mwana hai.
Baba ncha, hamuzwe fakuli bae mamanyalo kama basizani, bakona kuya kwa skills kwa itoza mazoho, balifelwa. Ibe malovalo, licho, bani ziba katina kwa teni kafoli, ma uniform, balifelwa. Mwendi mina bashemisu mkona kweza flaki transport ya kuli aye ituta. Luna nilikoloze swana inge SESHEKE trades, mungu trades, cholo. So la mikupa kuli hamkono kususweza bana balu na momo alilonga nibona bakono kuinga kabelo
Induna Muzebeka Ponde expresses satisfaction with the progress made in the area.
Nibata kufitisa witumero kwa mubuso wa UPND ili wo ukonile kutwasililo saluna murufile makrasi 1x5 classrooms.
The Member of Parliament later conducted a tour of the construction site at Liamango Health Facility, further demonstrating the government's dedication to improving infrastructure and services. For Prime TV News in SESHEKE District, Marcus Bransakwita reporting.
All right, so those are some of the stories that are making headlines in our news this morning. But right now, let's check out what happened today in history and a bit of some Did You Knows. But when we return, we will be joined by Dr. Nkulumana on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, pie, that's the life we know. From the fields to the table, every bite it shows. Prime Millie meal, the taste of home. Prime Millie meal, the taste of home. Prime Millie meal, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone. Prime Millie meal, the taste of home.
Prime Millie meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
What do we stand for? We stand for possibility, for the belief that every tomorrow begins with a choice made today. We stand for growth, for curiosity that pushes boundaries, for knowledge that prepares you not just to adapt, but to lead. We stand for community, for minds that don't just think, but connect, for hands that don't just build, but uplift. We stand for experiences that shape you, for friendships that anchor you, for courage that carries you beyond this place. Here you become more than a student. You become a maker of solutions, a believer in dreams, a contributor to something greater than yourself. This is where purpose meets possibility. This is where futures are built. Charles Brook Bassar University, where you stand for what matters.
Ndine Dr. Kolomana, Dr. Lamene akuthandiza anthu osiyanasiyana mu Zambia muno. Muperekeseso mbiri konsekonse ukuli kumene ndimupita anthuwo ndimwauze chiona chenicheni eziko mukwambira mayi.
My name is Jeff Perry from Chipata. I came to see Dr. Kolomana for a financial problem that I've had for a long time. Now I'm able to live a meaningful life.
9 months neza mimba ya huyu mwana. 9 months but sinezo baba puno mimba inauka mpaka kufika 10 months. So natamba kwa Dr. Kolomana pa TV. So nipameni nanyamuka yatenga phone number nanyamuka nubwera kuno. But kufika kuno nanipasa bananitandiza. Bananuza ati mzaenda lero clinic mzakana na mwana. Chakuma mzaenda mailo chakuma 9 hours ishimuni na mwana. But tinaenda 9 hours exact napezeka na baby boy.
Lintu naleta mbapa TV na ishire umfwa balelanda paiba Dr. Kolomana. Efo na ishire senda phone number ya Dr. Kolomana na isa na batumina badisa njasuka bampera ma direction na alima ndipantanshi na alishitana moto keji na totera
mankhwalanga ine sintenga kuno ndimatenga Mozambique ndikumulanje pamene ndimatenga ati ndimathandiza mankhwala osiyanasiyana.
For more information, contact us on 0211 261242 or 0976 716754 or 0967 276448.
Thank you so much for staying glued to our Sunrise Breakfast show. Do not forget that we're coming to you live. That is on Topstar channel 110. And you can also follow our program on digital platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and of course our website as well, where you can join in our conversations and share your thoughts this morning. Now, in recent weeks, social media has been flooded with discussions surrounding traditional healers and herbalists, particularly the increasing number of posters and, adverts seen across the towns and cities. Now, while some people believe in the services offered by traditional practitioners, others have raised questions about authenticity, regulation, and credibility. So this morning we want to move beyond speculation and just have a meaningful conversation that helps our viewers better understand this practice. To help us unpack this topic, I am joined in the studio by Dr. Nkolomana, who is a traditional healer. Good morning, Doc, and welcome to our Sunrise Breakfast Show.
Tiri bwino aroda. Ifeyo tabwera kuti tikutandalale malingana ndi zimene pa social media zimveka zinthu. Eto takupezani kwa fesi kwano. Ziko mkwambira aroda.
All right, now let's begin our conversation with important questions. A lot of people wamashita confuse, terms traditional healer na herbalist. And from your experience, what is the difference between the two?
Okay, zinthu zili choti. Monga ife a Dr. Kolomana, kapena ndikambe kuti traditional healer yatu ili association ya Atapazi Association. Then ife amene timapereka mankhwala cholinga choti kuchita healing ndi munthu. Tikapereka mankhwala iye uja amafika kuti apeze thandizo. Ife palibe zimene timaonjezera, timasata ndondomeko imene association yatu ya Atapazi imakambira. Eto aroda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's also talk about maybe the journey into this profession. What does it take, for someone to become a traditional healer? Is this a calling, wamashitako train, or it's both?
Okay. Mankhwala monga ngati nkhani ya udokta sukhala waizi haa. Ife timachita training. Training about maybe the 3 years. Tikachita training ndieno timakhala ndi kumene ndi timapereka monga ngati kwa Dr. Vongo amaona matenda amene ndi timatrainer. Then kuja machira apa zili certified apa zikhoza kutheka kuti mungambe ya udokotala kuti muzithandiza anthu. Eto aroda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, doctor, just like any other profession, ethical conduct is extremely important. What standards or guiding principles govern your practice to ensure that wajawantu amene bafuna tandizo sibankala misled or exploited?
Okay.
Because timamvera kai kumankati kuli benangu upeza nvazona benangu nvaboza, so kuliko ma ethical guidelines ya bwanji.
Okay, ndi monga ngati nemene kumbali yanga a Dr. Kolomana. A Dr. Kolomana amachita advert pa Prime TV always. But ndimakhala kuti ndizionekera kumbali yanga kuti ndi munthu aziwe kuti chimene chipanga a Dr. Kolomana ndi chazona, kulibe doubt. That's why ndinaika pa air kuti munthu wina aliyese akhale wondiziwa. Chimene ndichingachitike asavutike kundipeza. Mene ndimapangira udokotala wanga ndo mene aloda.
Okay, so kuli bantu benangu amene wama ku public wamene wamakambati vintu vamene wamachita advertise ma traditional healers vambiri kumakhala koma questions kuti vintu vamene wamachita promise vinangu si vamene vimachitika vakabwera ngati bafuna seeking a help. So manje mumachita respond bwanji kuli ma questions ayo ya credibility na authenticity?
Okay, ndikumakhala ndi mwini amene ndi wachimverera kuti kumene ndaenda kuja zimene ndimafuna sinachitikire, maybe mene wandipasa ndrama ndi sizinachitike, ali kuyenda kwa anthu oyenerera kuti atithandize kuti ngati ndramazo zatengedwa ndiende nawo kuja ndikapereke ndalama. But zambiri izimachitika singakambe kumbali kwa ndi kwa ena koma kumbali yanga. Ine kumbali kwanga ngati munthu kuti ndachita ngati zimenezo ali ebo kubwera kwa office kwanga kukambisana ngati kuti zavuta kuli anthu amene angatithandizire kuenda ku police ku court kulibe problem. Eto alode.
Okay, so now in many cases, people who believe mulima traditional healing, they often point to personal testimonies or my experiences yabantu. Kuliko my examples or testimony amene mungachiteko share kushita demonstrate nchito yanu vamene nachita pabantu.
Okay. Apa aroda ndinachoka ndinapita ku South Africa. Pobwera pamene nabwerera napeza kuti secretary ndiwanga pa reception anandembera kwachitika nkhani ngati ndiyeno ndi pamene ndabwera apa ndafuna kuti ndibwere kuno kuti tiunikire kuti tipanga bwanji. Okay, example mazo ndinali ndi anthu ochokera kukawe amadwala mendo mendoyo napasa 3 days lero yesterday atuma phone kuti lero ndayamba kuyenda ochokera pakawe chabwino ndi zambiri zimene ndichita monga ngati ndi munthu afuna kukhala ndi vumo kapena mimba izo ndili ndi experience ndi mazithandiza komanso pali zambiri zimene monga ngati kusirika m'manyumba m'maminda kunena kuti anthu akhale ndi chokudya chokwanira zimenezo ndi mazichita ndi pali zambiri zoti sindingayambe kuzilongosola pano pa mphepo aroda
kuliko vintu vamene mumakambati maybe munthu abwera kuli imwe mukambati ivi veve sindingachite because ndine doctor wa straight or amene amachita specialize mvaso.
That's why ndimakhala pamwera kuti anthu adziwe kuti kuli a Dr. Kolomana. Ine sindibisa sindivala magogo kapena sindimayenda ndimozibisa cholinga choti ngati munthu ndamuchita choyipa ayenera kubwera kukambisana but pali zimene ndimakana izi sindikwanisa yendani kwina kumene ndimungakwanise zimenezo ndimazichita aroda.
Okay.
Yes.
Doctor kuliko vinangu vamene mungafuna kambako maybe ku public okuli bantu vamene vatamu.
Ndiri nazo zokamba zambiri chifukwa chonena kuti ndinaenda ku South Africa pamene ndinabwera namva phone munyamata pa reception panga ndikumakamba kuti Dr. Kolomana akuti ndachita swindo 100,000. Lero ndili poera pamwera ndimafuna kuti abwere ku office kwanga. Ndiyeso kunabweraso ina akuti ndachita swindo 25,000 ndikamba semsemu kuti amenewo abwere apite ku office komanso ngati kuti akundiopa aende ndi pa polisi aende ku court andiitanire kumeneko kuti tikambisane andifotokozere pamene ndinatengera ndalama. Lero lidaswa ndabwera pano kukamba kuti ndikhale pamwera aliyese amvesese kuti Dr. Kolomana alipo kulibe kumene ndingapite aroda.
Okay. So amene join chabe program maybe mungabwezepo futhi vamene mumachita offer abantu afuna kushita understand practice and vamene machita offer my services and how can members of the public also just reach out to you ngati bafuna kutandiza.
Okay. Ine ndimapanga zambiri mankhwala a business kuti business izienda not ndikamba kuti kupanga ndambati kuchita business kuti business muzikhala ni makastomala zimenezo ndimazichita komanso ndi pali zambiri zoti ngati maybe muvutika ndi mala kapena mendo kuvimba kapena musowa mwana mafamily ndi anu ndikuchitani kuti bwerani kuli a Dr. Kolomana. Ine ndili Kapori Street house number 83 stage 3 Liwala ndiye kumene ndipezeka. Manamba langa mwazi wandikale a Dr. Kolomana ndiosavuta ngati kuti mwatuma mafoni bwerani ineyo ndikupokererani kulibe vuto lina lilose. Komanso pakali pano ndifuna ndibwerezepo futi ngati anthu nachita swindo abwere ku office kwanga. Ngati mukundiopa yendani pa polisi yendani ku court ine ndilipo chifukwa mwina mwake ndikakhalazi muzaona ngati zimene zinalipo pa social media maybe mwina zagwira ntchito ndabwera pa mphepo pano kuti aliyese amene akundimva aziwe kuti Dr. Kolomana alipo. Malo ndi omwaja stage 3 Kapoli stage 3.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We appreciate your time and we hope that you continue, engaging on issues surrounding traditional medicine and community health. Thank you so much, Dr. Kolomana. All right, so we do continue with our Sunrise Breakfast show, but when we return, we have more conversations that matter right here on our program. We take a break.
Ndine Dr. Kolomana, Dr. Lamene akuthandiza anthu osiyana-siyana mu Zambia muno. Muperekeseso mbiri konsekonse ukuli kumene ndimupita anthuwo ndimwauze chiona chenicheni. Eziko mukwambira mayi.
My name is Jeff Perry from Chipata. I came to see Dr. Kolomana for a financial problem that I've had for a long time. Now I'm able to live a meaningful life.
9 months neza mimba ya huyu mwana. 9 months but sinezopaka puno mimba inauka mpaka kufika 10 months. So natamba kwa Dr. Kolomana pa TV. So nipameni nanyamuka natenga phone number nanyamuka nobwera kuno. But kufika kuno nanipasa bananitandiza. Bananuza ati mzaenda lero clinic mzakana na mwana. Chakuma mzaenda mailo chakuma 9 hours ishimuli na mwana. But tinaenda 9 hours exact napezeka na baby boy.
Ilinto naleta mbapa TV na ishire umfwa balelanda paiba Dr. Kolomani. Efo na ishire senda phone number ya Dr. Kolomani na isa na batumina badisa njasuka bampera ma direction na alima ndipantanshi na alishitana moto keji na totera
Mankhwalanga ine sintenga kuno ndimatenga Mozambique ndikumulanje pamene ndimatenga ati ndimathandiza mankhwala osiyana-siyana.
For more information, contact us on 0211-261242 or 0976-716754 or 0967-276448.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, love in a pie, that's the life we know. From the fields to the table, every bite it shows. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone. Primarily me, the taste of home.
Prime Mill Meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
What do we stand for? We stand for possibility, for the belief that every tomorrow begins with a choice made today. We stand for growth, for curiosity that pushes boundaries, for knowledge that prepares you not just to adapt, but to lead. We stand for community, for minds that don't just think, but connect, for hands that don't just build, but uplift. We stand for experiences that shape you, for friendships that anchor you, for courage that carries you beyond this place. Here you become more than a student. You become a maker of solutions, a believer in dreams, a contributor to something greater than yourself. This is where purpose meets possibility. This is where futures are built. Charles Brook Bassar University, where you stand for what matters.
Right, thank you so much for staying with us and welcome back. You're still watching the Sunrise Breakfast Show right here on PTV2, of course, the home of breaking news. Now, agriculture remains the backbone of Zambia's economy and a key source of livelihood for millions of families across the country. But in recent years, many farmers have raised serious concerns about the growing circulation of counterfeit seeds on the market, which is a challenge that has left some farmers with poor harvest and significant financial losses. And this morning, we want to help farmers better understand how they can protect themselves and ensure that they are investing in quality seed that will guarantee productivity and food security. To help us unpack this important topic, I am joined in the studio by Mr. Njavwa Kawanga, Regional Sales Manager for K2 rather, a seed company covering Lusaka, Central and Eastern provinces. Mr. Kawanga, good morning and welcome to our Sunrise Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Rhoda, and thank you for having me. And I'm looking forward to having an insightful conversation with you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, is it 2K or K2?
Oh, thank you. Just to clarify, it's K2, and this is because the full names of the company is Klein Karoo Seed Zambia Limited. So the 2Ks, the short for is K2. So the full names are K2 Seed Zambia Limited. Yes.
All right, thank you for that clarification. Now, Mr. Kawanga, that many farmers are currently worried about, which is, growing frustration among farmers when it comes to distinguishing between genuine seed and counterfeit seed on the market. From your professional experience, what is the key difference between certified seed and fake seed?
Okay, thank you once again for having me, and thank you for that important question. From my professional perspective, the difference mainly lies in terms of accountability and also quality verification. The difference between the two are certified improved seed has gone through a rigorous process to ensure quality assurance. And what I mean is that there is a body, a regulatory body called Zambia Seed Certification Institute, or SCCI, that is involved in the process of first testing the seed. There is also verifying the seed and also certifying the seed. So through this process, the seed is at production level, the seed is tested in the laboratory. It's mainly tested for germination, germination percentage or the germination rate. There is also an issue of seed health. There is also what we call moisture, which reveals the moisture content of the seed, because that has an impact on the yield and the ultimate productivity. Also the purity of the seed. Then also the certification process ensures that the seed meets the standards, the required standard to help farmers. So certified seed goes through that process. While the uncertified, cheaper seed does not go through that process.
Okay.
Yes. Also, when you look at, I think we'll delve into that, but also in terms of other attributes, the variations are huge or significant when you look at it from that aspect.
Okay. So now, when farmers unknowingly purchase counterfeit seed, what are some of the major consequences or disadvantages they may experience during farming season?
Okay, thank you for that question. So when you look at, I'll start with certified seed. I think Nachitako mentioned a number of things that are involved through the regulatory body, the SCCI. There are issues of testing. Kuli germination ye show, just for me to explain to a local farmer. The germination percentage is an important or primary aspect. Germination meaning amwemelela, to germinate, for the seed to sprout. So you find that this is an important aspect, because when you look at certified seed, the germination percentage according to the standard is around 90% plus. But you find that for uncertified seed, it will average 30 to 40%. That is a big factor, because that is an immediate impact before we even go through the entire production process. Also, when you look at other issues, like, farmers are involved in this farming practice, not just to make money, but germination percentage also impacts on national level, not just farmers. At national level, Zambia is trying to drive, through the agriculture sector, we want to drive food security. So you find that the impact is across, not just at individual farm level, but also as a nation, because we want to reduce dependence on import. You know, not get the right seed, and that is certified, improved quality.
What they find at local markets without knowing whether the product is genuine. What are some clear warnings, farmers should look out for to identify fake or uncertified seed?
Okay, thank you. So the first indication that farmers should look out for is, first of all, when you look at the packaging. The packaging, the most important thing is that it's supposed to have a certification tag from SCCI. My farmers, when they look at the bag, there is a tag that should always be there, and it should be very visible.
Yeah.
This is a certification tag that shows that it has gone through the process to ensure that the seed meets the standard that is required. But other than that, there are also other certification markings that should be visible on the bag. You should look at the lot number. The lot number is simply a unique identifier. If a farmer has any issue, any complaint, and they go back either to the seed company, they come, for example, to Clan Caro, it will be easier for us to establish where the problem is, because using that lot number, which is the unique identifier, we'll go back to SCCI. SCCI will be able to check through that same identifier. They will check against the system to really confirm whether that seed had passed all these standards or germination issues and these other issues, to ensure that the seed meets those standards. Other than that, it is important for our farmers kuti vachita confirm balangana pa bag, vachita confirm that paja pa bag pali production na expiry date, because this ensures that the seed they are purchasing is within the viability period. Because the seed na mbeo imachita expire.
Okay.
So the production date and the expiry date is also important. But also sometimes even bag chemukailangana. Mafarmers wa maziwa. So the packaging kulimwe imasiringinyewa kuja kumwamba. It should be completely sealed. If you find that yone kamonga tiwanaichitapo reseal, already that's a signal that there is something wrong. The other indication also, the other issue that we should also look out for is, so I've mentioned the lot number, the production and the expiry date, but also when you look at the grain or the seed itself inside the bag, it should be uniformly colored, because every seed company like us, Clan Caro, to ensure that seed is of good quality, it is protected against storage pests and insects, we treat it with fungicides, pesticides. But that chemical that is used to treat the seed, it should be uniformly distributed around the seed. So these are some of the signs that we encourage farmers to look out for, even before they plant the seed. Just at the point of buying, if they suspect anything against what I've mentioned, it is important for farmers to know that that is a red flag.
Okay. So now, as a company operating in the seed industry, how does K2 Seed Company ensure that farmers receive genuine, high-quality seed?
Okay, thank you for that question once again. For us as K2, quality assurance begins way before or long before the seed gets into the hands of the farmers. So at Clan Caro, first of all, our seed goes through this rigorous process of certification, testing, and also verification through the SCCI. So our seed, already before it gets into the market, it would have gone through that process. But also at production level, the seed is inspected. We've got inspectors from SCCI again who will come and inspect. And at that particular level, it is easy and it's possible for the inspector to fail your field if it does not meet the required standards that I mentioned. So that verification process, we go through, we ensure that every variety, every seed that you get from Clean Karo Seeds has gone through that. We ensure that our packaging bears CI. So our packaging, you'll find that is properly sealed. Ija bag is ankara completely sealed kuja kumwamba. Also, it will have the lot number that I mentioned, which is the unique identifier. In partnership with SCCI as well, it's a requirement. Also, the net weight of the bag. So the net weight, what do I mean for a common farmer there? Farmers buy seed in different pack sizes. Could ma 10 kg, ma 5 kgs, ma 2 kgs. So it is important for farmers to check for all these issues that I'm talking about. So our K2 bag will have the net weight. If it's a 10 kg, it will be there. Also, the production, the expiry date will be indicated there.
Okay.
Then also, I have mentioned the lot number and these other issues. But other than that, we also go an extra mile by educating farmers. We conduct farmer trainings where we educate farmers about issues of counterfeit, but counterfeit seed, but also to create awareness on how they can avoid this cancer that is here to stay.
Yes.
But also we distribute our seed through different channels, and one of the channels that we use is through agro dealers or distributors.
Okay.
Farmers agro dealers. So at that particular level, we ensure that the agro dealers that we engage are first of all licensed, registered with SCCI, and also vetted. Okay. So these agro dealers, it's an intentional or deliberate effort that we make as a seed company to ensure that the entire process assures of quality products. So these are some of the channels through which we are abiding to these quality standard issues as Clean Karo said.
Okay. Now, another important question relates to accessibility. How is your company working to ensure that genuine seed reaches farmers, even in rural areas where access to certified, suppliers may be limited?
Okay, thank you again, Rod. Actually, that's one of a serious challenge, the issue of accessibility, especially these farmers that are in guys that are selling fake seed. About the agro dealers that we are working with, we select agro dealers that are not only in urban areas, but we prioritize those that are in the outskirts, in the last mile areas. Obviously, these agro dealers have to go through the screening process. They are licensed, registered, the vetting and whatnot. But these, through these agro dealers, we're ensuring that farmers that are in the deep outskirts, they are able to access our seed. And we have, in terms of the reach, we have agro dealers across all the provinces. When you talk of Eastern Province, all the way from Nyimba up to Lundazi and these other areas, we've got Tilo Agro. I think farmers in those particular areas a preview of such agro dealers. We've got Modern Bazaar, Jello, yeah. So when you look of when you talk of Lusaka province, there is SI Limbada, Farmers Ban, Lusaka Agrovet. These are agro dealers that we are working with. In Southern Province, we've got a number of agro dealers as well. Mamila. We've got the MKS Agro in Namwala, and also we go as far as Northwestern. Northwestern actually is interesting. We are working with a very big agro dealer called Tawako.
Okay.
But we are also going an extra mile by working with one of the traditional leaders there in the.
Okay.
Yes, one of the agro dealers in Chief Chibwika.
Okay.
So in terms of the reach, these are agro dealers that are well registered and licensed to practice, and this is how we are distributing our seed. But also at company level, we also have different outlets through the, which we are distributing seed, but also through the Ministry of Agriculture. We work with extension officers, because these have an extensive interaction with farmers. Okay. So this is in cooperatives, these are the different channels through which we are ensuring that seed is accessible to those farmers that are in the last mile areas.
Okay. How do people, you know, purchase your products, or how can they find you?
Okay.
In case there are any contacts.
Okay, thank you so much. So I've mentioned of the different agro dealers that we have. I've mentioned we've got agro dealers across all these districts, across the country, just to mention. But also our head office is along Kafue Road, just after the flyover bridge, you know, the Cosmopolitan flyover bridge. There's a filter lane on your left, just a few meters. You will see ZNS. Immediately after ZNS, the next premises is PG Glass or ATS. We are within those premises. But we also have a sales office along Mongwe Road within Board and Timber. So yeah, but also I can share my contact details for farmers that would, I'm very reachable during the day and at night, though I'm married, but yes,
I hope those are not your personal contacts.
No. So I can be reached through 0975 86 8540. I'll repeat, 0975 86 8540.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kawanga, for joining us this morning, and of course for sharing this important information with our viewers, especially the farming community.
Thank you so much, Rhoda. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to coming here again.
Absolutely.
For a different topic.
All right. I hope all the farmers have heard this conversation, not just the farmers, but also, you know, all our viewers that have tuned in this morning. But for now, let's take a short break. We'll be back on the other side to continue with our conversations.
What is love if you don't give it away?
Want to charm a woman anyway because you are built to pursue.
A purpose marriage really, and it takes a lot of intentionality.
True companionship is not proximity. It is a mutual knowing. Intentional love will always win. Join us for Love Diaries, where couples share their love stories, play fun games, and more. Love Diaries, where love is honest, learning is constant, and conversations matter. Love Diaries, love will always win. If it's not on Prime TV 2, verify it. Our dedicated reporters across the country bring you accurate, well-researched news, keeping you informed 24/7. Catch us on Topstar Channel 110 and follow us on Facebook at Prime TV 2 Zambia. Prime on TV2, the home of breaking news.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we are coming to you live on Top Star channel 110 and also streaming live on our Facebook page, that's PTV2 Zambia. Now, Zambia, 5 months from now, the country will be heading to the general elections, a time where citizens will once again exercise their constitutional right to choose their leaders. Across the country, conversations are already taking place in homes, markets, campuses and communities. Many voters are asking difficult questions. Will the electorate renew the mandate of the ruling United Party for National Development, UPND, or will they decide to chart a different political path? Ultimately, the power, lies in the people. But another important question continues to arise in many discussions is, does Zambia currently have a strong and organized opposition capable of offering a credible alternative to the ruling party?
Good morning, Michael. Thank you so much, and good morning to our viewers out there.
It's good to have you, and like I mentioned earlier, today it's a marathon for you.
Yes, it is. It is. We always love it this way.
All right, now let's begin with our conversation with a timely subject.
Yes.
Tomorrow, Zambia, commemorates Youth Day,
yes.
A dedicated day to recognize the role young people play in shaping the future of the nation. Now, from your perspective, as a political leader, how would you describe the current level of youth participation in governance and decision-making in Zambia?
It's quite low. Still not impressed. I think that's why some of us have stepped forward to ensure that the youths are represented, the youths are drawn into governance. Part of the challenges that we face as young people is the issue of support and also being given opportunities in political parties. So for us as Democratic Union, we've offered ourselves to those young people who want to participate in politics, that they can stand on Democratic Union. That aside, we understand also the main challenges that young people face. We had deliberately created something even before the proportionate allocation of MPs. What we had done is that in order to ensure that young people get involved in decision-making of the country, we wanted to make sure that all district commissioner roles are given to the young people so that they can be strategically positioned on the tables where we talk about resource allocation. The young people are there. On the table where we talk about even women participation, the women are there. This has been the ambition of the Democratic Union. But this far, I'm still not happy with the youth participation, youth representation in terms of leadership in the government. If you look at, unfortunately, the UPND has been one of the biggest culprits in terms of getting the young people involved. They still have those lenses where they look at young people as tools to be used for political mileage. They don't look at them as leaders who are supposed to work with people we are supposed to work with. I've been stating this, Michael, for a very long time. I am so big and passionate about innovation. In the absence of innovation, this country is going nowhere. My ambition, my desire is that we begin to export solutions as a country, and that can only be attained if young people come on board leadership.
But are young people themselves ready to actually take up leadership positions?
Yes, some are not ready, others are ready. We've got some of us here who are ready. I believe once we get there, a lot of young people will be inspired that if Akim can do that, then I can also do it. I can also support him. In the quest to support me, they will be drawn into leadership. You have to understand that KK, the time he became president, if I look critical, I think KK for me is still outstanding in terms of development in the country. He was a young man the time he took up the presidency. And I got some information recently that actually even shunned going to the university. He allowed others to go as he worked, sacrificing for the country. So that's the type of life, the leaders that we want in the country, who are also going to sacrifice something for the sake of the country. But are the young people ready? Others are ready, others are not ready. I've been telling the young people to say, even under the Democratic Union, even as we desire to make the district commissioner roles to be given to the young people, it's not every young person will be given that role just because you are young. You have to display some maturity. You have to display that you are responsible. You have to display that you can take care of the people. Then that's when we'll appoint you. We won't just appoint you because you're a young person, no, but there's that aspect of being responsible, and you have to be mature. Because it's a very huge responsibility to be in public leadership. So that we must understand that it's a sacrifice actually. Yes.
All right. So we already have youth representation in Parliament, but you know, people argue that their discussion or submission in Parliament is not matured.
Yes.
We've seen statements from you know, members of Parliament calling, you know, elderly members of Parliament Ichimotu and everything like that, and people have argued to say maybe young people are not yet ready or ripe to represent other people in Parliament.
Okay.
Your comment on that?
Yes, I do agree. I think maybe some of them have not represented us very well. I'm a very respectful person. Sure. I respect both the elderly and the young people. Us as Democratic Union, the ideology that we follow is the Christian democracy. And one of the things that we promote is justice. When we talk about justice, what we say is that all men are equal before God. Therefore, if we talk about opportunities, they have to be given opportunities equally. Respect, they have to be given respect. Anything that has to do with a human being, it has to be done equally. So we are of course taken aback that some young people, of course, not everyone, they haven't represented us so well in Parliament. But that should not stop us from taking a step forward to take up leadership in this country. If others have failed, they're just isolated cases. Yes, I think maybe the majority of them really haven't done so well. But I believe there are some of us who are different, who I think want to help this country from a different platform, where I think we've got this great vision for this country. And I believe there are a lot of young people out there. I come from the corporate world, from the private sector, where we have got a lot of young people who are managing directors, leading the big companies. So those are responsible people. If I was given an opportunity, definitely I would love to get some of them to come and help this country develop. Sure. Maybe what is keeping them away is the nature of politics. You see, we've been told that politics is dirty. For me, I say politics is not dirty. It's the people who are dirty. Yeah, it's the people who are dirty. The people involved who are doing politics are the ones who are dirty. But we need to make sure that we change the type of politics that we do in the country, so that even others who are able to develop the country, who don't want, I mean, so far life young kumba, so very dramatic. Participate. Sure. It's about working together. The Democratic Union symbol is honey. You can only have honey if there's unity. When you see how is honey gotten? It's gotten through a lot of bees working together, then they produce honey. This is what Zambians must understand, that we must work together. Even as I have given myself to lead this country, all I'm saying to the Zambians is that I've got this vision and I've got these solutions which I want us to implement. It's up to you, to the Zambians, to analyze them, of course with your conscience, not with your ego. You analyze them. When you like them, then you say, Akim, let's work together and build this country. This is what is very, very important. But the young people, some of them have not really impressed us this far, but I believe we've got a lot of young people who are responsible, who can help and contribute to the country's development.
But in your view, what factors are discouraging many young people from actively participating in politics or governance?
Okay, so the first thing I think that is there is that there are some young people, I think, who carry themselves with so much dignity. They don't want to be part of the mud. But the other issue that I think prevents them is the issue of support, financial support. It's quite involving to be in politics. There's quite a lot, especially that the country has been somehow damaged. Because most of the time you find that, say, when you go to the people to tell them your manifesto, to sell them the message, they want you to pay them. Sure. Is that the way it's supposed to be? It's not supposed to be like that, because that's like buying somebody.
But this is the narrative that you politicians have created out there.
Yes.
When you don't dish out something, then they would probably not associate with you.
Yes, so there are other Zambians when we want to sell this message. It's not that maybe we don't have anything to do or we have money that we don't have any use for. Sure. So we want to buy people to get into government. No, it's a service. We have to understand that political public servantship is a service. Sure. If we understand it that way, there's no way then you need to go and buy people. No.
But do people understand it that way?
Others do understand. I know for some time people have been thinking that you have to buy them, but when we go out and explain to them, others actually agree to say, somehow that's how we've damaged our country. Because what happens, Michael, is that when we politicians use their money to buy you, they would want to recover that money. Sure. And how do they recover it? They go into government and start stealing. When they steal, they are replenishing. And sometimes what they tell you is that, Michael, I come from your constituency. You say, Akim, you are not sitting in the constituency. Michael, I paid you. I paid you for whatever you did. You voted for me, I paid you. Yes. What else do you want? So they are not indebted to you because they have already paid you. And maybe they could be right. They've paid you, the transaction ended. You gave them the vote, they paid you. Sure. So we don't want that. We want that continued obligation from the political leaders, that's such that they are indebted to you people, they are indebted to developing your areas, not that because they paid you. So these are the real issues that we have to discuss as Zambians, those who mean well. I don't mean every Zambian, but those who mean well for the country. Because the moment a politician pays you, he has paid you, there's nothing further after that. And when he has paid you, he has used money or he has taken money from somewhere. And when he goes there, he wants to claw back that money that he has used in order to to pay back where they have gotten, to cover the deficit that has been there. So it's up to us Zambians to come to realize that it's not good to actually even get money from politicians because we are killing our future. These people will go into government and start stealing to recover that money which they used to pay you. So then how then do we civilize our politics? Yeah, because if you look at civilized world, I know we still have a long way to go. In America, when candidates want to stand as candidates, they sell their manifesto. The citizens begin to support them. The companies begin to support them. They support the policies. But yes, different. You find that politicians are the ones who are supposed to pay the people, to pay them. That's why you find that, yes, buy beer and all that. That's why you find that corruption is increasing and growing. But how do we stop these things? It's up to us, to Zambians, to decide. We have to decide that we want something good. You see, the way corruption, how bad corruption is, that when you've got road contracts, instead of spending maybe 10 million kwacha on a road, yes. Somebody has to get 8 million and use 2 million. And what happens within a short time? You have potholes, you have accidents, and then you have loss of life, and the development is just somehow disturbed. Or you find that if you are going to the market, you take a lot of time to reach the market. If you are having tomatoes, maybe they get damaged on the way, they get bad on the way. So all these are consequences of this thing that we are doing at the initial stage, at the primary stage. When we are engaging with the electorate, we are paying them. Why are we buying them? Sure. Michael, when you want to do a right, Zambian politics transform to.
All right, so I know we need a democratic union. Yes. For the sake of our viewers who may not be familiar with your party, what does the Democratic Union stand for, and what vision are you offering to the Zambian people? Okay,
thank you so much. So the Democratic Union stands for a change in politics, the way politics are played here in Zambia. We want to bring a new type of politics in this country, one which prioritizes integrity, transparency, and accountability. These things have been a very difficult thing in the political space. We want to bring a new type of politics. That's our desire. Insult each other, name calling, show that. Can the Zambians who are very positive-minded, who mean well for this country, look at Democratic Union as an alternative? That's why we set it up. Then we also looked at the economic opportunities in the country which were not available for everyone. They are restricted to some regions, restricted to certain people. So we wanted to open up to ensure that opportunities are available for everyone, regardless of region or tribe where one comes from, regardless of color. Opportunities should be there for everyone. That's the desire of the Democratic Union. But what's the vision of the Democratic Union? The vision of the Democratic Union is to build what we call a new Zambia. I'm sure you've heard people talk about new. Exactly. What they mean, it is coming from the Democratic Union. We want to build what we are calling a new Zambia. How are we going to build a new Zambia? A new Zambia will be built through a transformative process. How are we going to roll out this transformative process? This transformative process the way we're going to roll it out is that we're going to set up what we are calling strategic cooperation in 4 key areas of our economy. That is in agriculture, in mining, in construction and engineering, as well as technology and innovation. In agriculture, what we want to do is I'll give you a summary. In agriculture, we want to set up public commercial farms in all the districts so that agriculture or production of maize is enhanced, is increased, so that we are able to begin to export and satisfy the markets across our neighboring countries. I don't feel nice, Michael, when I go to these border towns, I see ZNOS officers stopping these people who want to export maize. Why are we denying ourselves of the revenue that we want? You can't tell me that we don't want revenue.
Don't you think we can have a deficit if we continue the export?
Yes, so that's why we are coming up with National Food and Agriculture Corporation. This corporation will ensure national food security. What we are saying is that if we have 2 to 3 years food cover in the country, we should begin to export maize. And what we want to do is also to liberalize the agriculture sector so that anyone who engages in agriculture should be at liberty to export their produce. And how do they make profits? They have to decide, Michael, I can produce a 50 kg bag of maize at 250. You can produce your 50 kg bag of maize at 350. Now, if we put the floor price of maize at 350, you're not going to make a profit. Me, I'll make a profit. So we want you to look at your input. Then you say, no, if I sell to NAFAC or FRA, I want to make a profit. But let me export that bag of maize to DRC or Malawi, then I'll make a profit. That way we give you motivation to continue engaging in agriculture. So that's what we want. Then we are looking at, when we talk about agriculture support, of course, these other things of bringing inputs on time are basic. But we are looking at an intervention where we can say, maybe for 3 years, for 5 years or 7 years, we subsidize our inputs and tell people, the Zambian people, to say, we want to subsidize the cost of fertilizer and other inputs for 3 years, 5 years or 7 years, so that you build capacity, you begin to stand on your own, so that when we remove the subsidies, when the prices go back to 1,100, at least you'll be able to buy. So all those are deliberate interventions that we want to put in place, but also increase the employment of agriculture extension officers. One of the challenges that we faced is that if you look at production in a 1 hectare, you find that a lot of people, the number of bags that they harvest from a 1 hectare is not what they are supposed to harvest. If you engage these agriculture extension officers, these are our colleagues who have studied agriculture at UNZA and NRDC, they will tell you that maybe a 1 hectare should produce 200 bags or 250 bags if you plant the way maize is supposed to be planted. So we need those people to come and help us, to come and help the rural farmers on how to plant.
Are you saying the extension agriculture officers are not enough or adequate at the moment?
They are not adequate at the moment, because if you go in the rural areas, you find that they're even not there. Yes, they are not even there. So we need to employ quite a number of them so that then we promote agriculture. We need to be self-sufficient as a country. We need to make sure that we are food secure. This is one of the things that we need to do. That's why I've been talking about investing in technology so that we can deploy technology in agriculture and increase the yield. This is very important. So this is what we want to do. And that's the way we are partly addressing the issue of the cost of living. That's participate in mining. They also participate in mining in all the 10 provinces, because my ambition is that development should be in all 10 provinces. We don't want development to be skewed to Lusaka and Copperbelt only. We want development to be spread there,
across.
To spread across the
well,
provinces.
Mr. Njovu, time is not our best friend, but we need to move on and address some of the issues. I think we will invite you for a lengthy discussion, and I'm looking forward for you to share your manifesto so that maybe I can just go through and understand your ideology. But now let's shift the attention to the performance of the ruling United Party for National Development, which has been in power so far for almost 5 years now. But after being elected on a platform of economic recovery, good governance and restoring democratic values, from your assessment as an opposition leader, how would you evaluate, the UPND's performance so far?
They've really struggled to deliver results. They've really struggled to deliver on the promises. And I'm disappointed that today they are saying Sot Sana. They want to continue that platform to preserve their failure. How do you preserve failure? Can't we have something better? So if you analyze their performance, it has been a huge struggle. A lot of areas, we can talk a number of them. I was in TV1, we were just talking about the cost of living, the food basket, which has risen to 11,800. But they are saying they are doing so well. They are saying inflation has come down. All these, there are these economic indicators which they are pointing, which are doing so well. But to an ordinary person, they are not feeling the benefit. They're not feeling that improvement. Even when we talk about load shedding now, I know there's an improvement now, but have we provided a solution to this? No, we are importing power. We haven't invested.
So maybe the solution, like they've been on different forums, and they're saying they've established solar power plants, which are coming, thermal power plants as well. Don't you think that's a solution to the load shedding?
Yes, it could be, but we haven't invested the way we are supposed to invest to actually get
how are we supposed to invest?
Yeah, because if you look at, I was in Chisamba a few weeks ago. I was talking to the people there on the ground, and they told me that even at the time the solar plant was commissioned, they didn't see any change in terms of load shedding hours. That power was actually sent to the mines. So these investments are there, but who are they benefiting? So on the one side, they're being used for political mileage, but on in terms of the benefiting the ordinary citizens, they are not benefiting. So these are issues that we need to talk at. When we talk about the investment in the energy sector, I think there's a lot of work to be done. It cannot be promises. No one forced them. They made promises on their own, which they have not delivered on. So if we talk about their performance, I think there's quite a lot that we can talk about. If there's one issue that I need to make HH account for, he has wasted a lot of public money, taxpayers' money. He has set up the Ministry of SME, which hasn't delivered anything. And maybe that's the reason he fired the Minister Mbanga, because it hasn't delivered anything. How much taxpayers' money have we wasted in that ministry? What benefit has the SME gotten from that?
But we're seeing farmers being empowered with tractors, farming inputs through the SME. I recently was in Southern Province, and I was in Zimba, in Nyawa Chiefdom, where the SME ministry had actually handed over some equipment to farmers, cooperatives, and everything like that. So don't you think it's empowerment enough to small-scale farmers?
I don't think it has delivered the real results that we can talk about today. Are you happy today the way our agriculture sector is? Is very excited about what he has done. Are we really excited about what has been done in the agriculture sector? Are we excited about what the SME has done? Then the focus...
The UPND will boast that, you know, from the time they came into government, the yield or the harvest has been high. The distribution of farming inputs has been timely. So maybe what more can
it's not timely. Last year, what time did they get the farming inputs? They got them very late. And you saw there were others who were even still sharing those little inputs. And then we talk about even the payment of farmers. So they can't boast about anything. The farmers are very upset. The farmers are really, really upset. So if the farmers are upset, what are they upset if there's a government that is really delivering? So all those are issues that we need to talk about. But for me, I believe the Minister of SME has not really delivered what it's supposed to deliver. It's not really about the farmers giving them tractor. The SME sector, which sector does actually contribute to the GDP? Is it those peasant farmers, or it's actually the entrepreneurs and others who are now, some of them still being victimized by ZRA? So how are we getting helped as SMEs from the SME ministry? So I don't think that actually the SME ministry has actually delivered. So they need to give an account on how they have used taxpayers' money for an objective that hasn't actually yielded results. One of the other ministries, I think even is the green economy. What is it that it has delivered that we can point out and say, this is what this ministry has delivered, or we've just been wasting taxpayers' money? All these are issues that we can talk about. So when we talk about empowerment, the one you pointed out, for me, I would want to see in CDF, and as the desire of the Democratic Union is that that component of empowerment under CDF needs to be boosted. If you look at its current state right now, the allocation is 40 million and 20% goes to empowerment. I think 8 million is not enough to satisfy a constituency. There are a lot of people in a constituency. Us as Democratic Union, we want to increase that to 100 million, because when we give 100 million, then there will be enough to cover the entrepreneurs and others.
Where is the money going to come from?
We've got a lot of wealth in this country, Michael. We've got a lot of wealth. And other things that we want to do, we want to make sure that we are going to work on the civil service. I believe that's what honey represents, the ewuchubo. If we talk about uwuch, our symbol as Democratic Union is honey. And when we talk about honey, the living standards of the people should improve and be seen. The people have to see that difference. We can't just be talking about improvements in the economy, which cannot be felt. So this is what we want to do when we talk about CDF. CDF hasn't really been a game changer like they have put it. There's only one component which has actually done better, which is the bursaries, which we appreciate that, yes, it has delivered results. But if we talk about empowerment, I think it hasn't delivered. There are still a lot of issues that I think needs to be managed in terms of empowerment. The marketeers, the youths, actually, they're still complaining that we can't still access those funds. What is the issue? When they access, it's just a few, some of them may even be affiliated to the party. But what about the other ones who don't want to involve themselves into politics, who need to benefit from that? So how are we going to help them? So all these are issues that we are going to look at. If we look at also the civil service has been neglected. The civil servants have been neglected. How are we going to take care of them? For me, I want a civil service that I'm going to be proud of. I want people like you, Michael, to leave stations like this one and want to go and join the civil service. So we have to make sure that we use our wealth very well, such that we improve the living conditions of the civil service.
Okay,
we
thank you so much. Now I want to
Yes.
I want to put you on spotlight.
Yes.
Now, if you were given executive power to lead the country for the
Yes.
next 24 hours,
yes,
only 24 hours,
yes,
and I mean 24 hours, Mr. Njovu,
yes,
what immediate decisions or reforms would you implement to address Zambia's most pressing challenges?
First of all, I will
remember 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yes.
Within that 24 hours, I will introduce what we want to introduce as the Democratic Union, what we are calling the Chiefdom Development Fund, which is supposed to be paid by the mining companies to ensure that the community begins to benefit from a mining resource. So that's what I would do in 24 hours if I'm only given 24 hours, besides the other things that I would do.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
All right, so let's move now our attention to the opposition,
Yes.
like the landscape of the opposition
Yes.
in Zambia. There's been a lot of disagreements and divisions among the opposition. Some people feel this disunity weakens the ability of the opposition to provide a strong alternative. But the question is, why do you think the opposition has struggled to remain organized and united?
I think there's a belief that the ruling party could be behind this confusion in the opposition. But I also maybe want to speak to the Zambians to say they have only focused on the PF. That's where the problem has been. They're focused on PF, they haven't focused on us with new ideas. Maybe that's where the problem is. If they had moved from PF after, because already PF, you were not happy with them, that's why you removed them from power. But why do you want to go back to them? Why don't you focus on us with new ideas? Maybe there's a two-party responsibility. The party in power which is accused of causing the same division, and the Zambians themselves who don't want to move on because you are like you are coming from a relationship where you have been disappointed, you have separated, but you don't want to move on. That's why the problem is. Zambians, why are you clinging to PF? Because PF was snatched from the original owners. We needed to have moved on as a country to say, okay, actually at some point we didn't want this because of Kadarism. That's why we have moved up. We brought in UPND. But because UPND has not delivered, now we need to make progress as a country. Can we look to new people with fresh ideas, with a good vision? That way I think we wouldn't have been complaining about this disunity in the opposition.
Is your party in a form of any alliance? Or
we are not in an alliance. We still on our own. Of course, we had some engagement with some alliances, but we are still on our own right now.
No. Yeah. But do you think the current, the opposition, the current political oppositions are ready to unseat the UPND come August general election?
Yes, we are ready to unseat. I believe we are ready. I speak on behalf of the Democratic Union. I believe we are ready. Because the Zambians will have to choose whether they want Sotsana or they want
you've even brought salt
or they want honey.
Okay,
yes.
Let's have a look of it.
Yes, so they have to.
All right, so this is sea salt.
Yes, they have to.
And this is honey.
Yes, they have to choose whether they want salt. Okay. Do you want to preserve a broken economy, or you want honey, which symbolizes wealth, which symbolizes unity? what do you want? What are you going to choose?
Okay.
Yes. Would you love to continue with the institutions that have been weaponized? Do you still want to continue with a civil service that is not happy, that is not well taken care of? You have to know is that they're providing good conditions of service and also funding them. We need to fund the anti-corruption, we need to fund DEC, we need to fund the OP and improve their living standards. And also in a way of wanting to fight corruption. How do you expect people who are struggling surely to resist corruption? We need to take care of them. We need to improve their salaries. So I believe that with the wealth that we have in this country, even a 50,000 minimum for professional workers in the civil service is a good thing. Is that we can give the general workers a 20,000 minimum. It's a good thing because we have a lot of wealth in this country. It's not that it's only that the wealth that we have is being channeled to wrong people. It's going out. Our investors are taking advantage of us. What we need to do is to make sure that the investors are benefiting and we are also benefiting. We need to strike a balance. I believe we can improve the living standards in our country. But one thing that we must not do is to get that sort sun and put it on the institutions that have been weaponized, institutions that are harassing citizens. No, we need to make sure that we choose honey so that we have with the wealth that can come into our hands. We have the wealth that we can benefit from. Honey symbolizes good health. We need a good living standards in this country, not the sort to preserve wrong things.
Well,
no.
Mr. Njovu, thank you so much. And I just have to make mention that now the decision, it's up to the viewers, whether to choose
honey or salt.
Okay, thank you so much. We can go on, and I hope we had all the time for us to discuss. And I think we'll invite you to have deeper discussions. Yes, because I haven't even finished my questions.
Exactly.
I really had a lot to ask you and to find out from you.
Maybe we can do some few minutes. We can.
But time is not with us. But I would really like to thank you for making an appearance on PTV2. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate it.
Dear viewers, there you have it. This has been Democratic Union leader, Mr. Akim Anthony Njovu, right here on PTV2 Sunrise Breakfast. And my name is Michael Himusa Jr. But we continue with the Sunrise Breakfast show. And it's up to you to choose salt or honey. Don't go away.
If it's not on Prime TV2, verify it. Our dedicated reporters across the country bring you accurate, well-researched news, keeping you informed 24/7. Catch us on Topstar Channel 110 and follow us on Facebook at Prime TV2 Zambia. Prime TV2, the home of breaking news.
Pursue
a purpose marriage, really, and it takes a lot of intentionality.
True companionship is not proximity. It is a mutual knowing. Intentional love will always win. Join us for Love Diaries, where couples share their love stories, play fun games, and more. Love Diaries, where love is honest, learning is constant, and conversations matter. Love Diaries, love will always win.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, love in a pie, that's the life we know. From the fields to the table, every bite it shows. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone. Primarily me, the taste of home.
Prime Meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
What do we stand for? We stand for possibility, for the belief that every tomorrow begins with a choice made today. We stand for growth, for curiosity that pushes boundaries, for knowledge that prepares you not just to adapt, but to lead. We stand for community, for minds that don't just think, but connect, for hands that don't just build, but uplift. We stand for experiences that shape you, for friendships that anchor you, for courage that carries you beyond this place. Here you become more than a student. You become a maker of solutions, a believer in dreams, a contributor to something greater than yourself. This is where purpose meets possibility. This is where futures are built. Charles Brook Bassar University, where you stand for what matters.
Thank you so much, our dear viewers, for staying with us right here on the Sunrise Breakfast Show on Prime TV2. Do not forget that you can also catch our program on digital platforms, that is Facebook and YouTube at PTV2 Zambia, and of course Prime Television, where you can be able to be part of the conversation as they also have the breakfast show. Now, in recent years, Zambia has continued to record increasing cases of gender-based violence, with the majority of victims being women and girls. And these incidents are not only alarming, but also raise serious questions about safety, dignity, and protection of vulnerable members of our communities. This is a matter that obviously requires honest reflection, collective responsibility from families, communities, institutions, and of course our very own leaders. To help us unpack this important issue this morning, we're joined by Pastor Mary Mulenga Harawa. Pastor, good morning and welcome to our Sunrise Breakfast Show today.
Morning, and thank you so much for having me.
How was your Women's Day?
It was very interesting. Actually,
Okay.
we had a conference, a 5-day conference, and we ended it in celebration on Sunday. Yeah.
All right, interesting. Now, we have recently, commemorated International Women's Day, a moment that is dedicated to recognizing the strengths, achievements, and rights of women across the world. For women in Zambia who may currently be experiencing gender-based violence or abuse, what message of encouragement and hope would you like to share with them today, for starters?
Okay, so before we actually even talk about the message of hope, is that we need to understand what the causes of gender-based violence are, and also maybe try and identify ways and means in which it can be eradicated or women can be helped to come out. Because before you inspire hope, you must identify the root causes. And so for me, I think I would prefer that we said, okay, what are the root causes? And these are the root causes, and then how do we deal with them? Because if you look at the theme for International Women's Day this year, it is right, justice and action. But I said the other day, I think it was last week when I had an interview somewhere, I said, before you talk about rights, you need to understand that a woman must understand that they have rights. And what gives them that understanding that they have rights is the fact that they've gotten at least a basic education.
Yes.
So if a woman does not have a basic education, they don't even understand what you're talking about when you say you have rights. You see, when you're talking about justice, they don't even understand what does justice look like to them. You know, when you talk about action, what should action be? Yeah.
All right. So from the statistics that, you know, the president did give out, and also just a general situation of what's happening currently in terms of GBV. From your perspective, what do you believe is, you know, driving this persistent problem within our communities?
So one of the major challenges, I think, comes from the socialization of men. You see, men are raised and are made not actually just submit, because if you look at submission, there's a better way it fits in, but that they should be available for abuse, actually. Yeah. So society has created that type of a mindset, you know, that makes men appear strong and domineering, and they can have anything they want, whether the woman wants it or not. And if the woman resists, the man will now use his muscle strength to inflict pain on a woman and drive her into what is so-called submission.
And now the conversation, I think, has shifted from us talking about women, you know, quite right, when many women are the victims, but also we have seen in some cases where men are the victims. On that particular issue, what do you think are some of the causes why, you know, why is that happening?
Man will become a victim. Again, it goes back to society, because even when a man wants to report incidences of violence against him, the person he will be reporting to will make it difficult for the man to report. Secondly, the people around the man will say, how can you be saying that a woman did this to you? You know, it goes back to socialization, you see, because we have created a society where we believe that men cannot cry. You see, you cannot cry, you are a man, you have to be strong, you cannot show emotions. And at the end of the day, we destroyed the society that we should have. So yes, men have experienced also violence against them, but the challenge that has been there has been created by society, because we have put men on a certain place that we do not think that they require the attention that we are also giving to the woman.
Yeah. But also, maybe before we talk about the reactions, you did speak about, you know, sometimes men fail to report because maybe when they go to the police station, they'll be laughed at to say you are weak. But what is the root cause? Like, why are women and men fighting in homes, in relationships? Is it because of issues to do with the economy? Is it the issues to do with infidelity and things like that?
So the number one challenge, in my view, is money. I think that even when we sit in church, 70% of the problems people are praying for is, God, give me money. God, give me money. God, just give me a breakthrough. God, let that contract come through. And so when parties are not financially or economically empowered, you know, they become victims of gender-based violence. Sometimes both of them could not have the money, and both of them are fighting for the little money that is there. Sometimes it is the woman that does not, most cases, it is the woman that does not have the money. And why I say this is that I never forget an incident that I saw some time back, a long time ago. I was young. I had left secondary school and I had gone for a camp meeting, for a church camp meeting, and we had an incident. It was for intercessors. So we had an incident where this woman came amongst the intercessors, and what she was reporting and was wanted prayer for was that the husband had abused their 5-year-old daughter, if not 4. Yes. You see that? And then after she discovered, because they were living, I think, in Avondale, you know, so you understand that life. Then it was, yes, this is the place. And so the man told the woman that he was going to get rid of her. So instead of him even seeing the evil, he told her that he was going to get rid of her. And so both the lady that was involved and her mother came to seek prayer. Is that the right channel? You see, there's a victim who is a child, and this woman doesn't want to leave the marriage. Why? Because she is not financially empowered. The man is the one providing everything, and so she has to weigh her options. She has to weigh her options. I don't think that matter was ever reported. I doubt it was ever. It means that girl will forever be abused in that home. Because the mother does not want to live. Why doesn't the mother want to live? Because she's not willing to live the Mayadi life. Because she doesn't want to go and labor. So you see, so the violence there is because of economic. The man knew. He would just pull one trigger. You see, I'll get rid of you. I'm the one doing everything.
So basically, most women are holding on to, you know, abusive husbands because maybe they cannot financially take care of themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've heard quite a number of such cases. But also maybe let's get into one of the most reported causes, which is infidelity in marriages, because most of the cases that we see, especially, you know, on the news, it's because my wife cheated, my husband cheated, you know, there's this issues of there is a side chick, she's been killed, and issues like that. Maybe let's get into that as well.
It is one of the causes, actually. Infidelity in marriage is one of the causes, especially when people don't know how to handle their emotions. Yeah, when people don't know how to handle their emotions, they end up doing things that they regret later. Most of the times, and the infidelity is on both sides. It's not just men, it's not just women, it's both. So when a party discovers that someone has been cheating, they want to take the law in their own hands, which is quite unfortunate. You see, because if you go even to Chimbokaila, I'm a lawyer by profession, so if you go to Chimbokaila, you find that the female section, most of the women that are there, it's crimes of passion. Yeah, crimes of passion, which it is not worth it at the end of the day. You see that it is not worth it at the end of the day. But for me also, other than just the issue of infidelity, is also the issue of substance abuse. Yeah, substance abuse, because we have had incidences where someone, because they were intoxicated, they went and slept with this particular person, and that thing resulted into all the drama, and they are not in the right state of the mind to think of the consequences of their actions.
Absolutely. Now, in your experience as a pastor and counselor, how common are some of these gender-based violence cases within the church?
Okay, so within the church, there are incidences. I wouldn't say there are as much, depending with, number one, and when we talk about the church, maybe we should talk about the church in general, because we've seen some church organizations that have championed the cause of women in the issue relating to gender-based violence. But also we have seen certain priests, certain pastors talk against it. But even when we say they have been talking against it, there have been incidences of gender-based violence. The challenge sometimes is that people hardly report about them. Hardly report about them, but challenges have been there. People have been experiencing that, whether men or women, in churches they have, including pastors themselves.
Now, some critics do argue that religion is sometimes misused to justify male dominance or silence women in abusive relationships. From a biblical and Christian perspective, what does the scripture truly say about how maybe men should treat women?
Thank you so much. When we look at scripture, Jesus said something. He said that you've made the word of God of none effect because of your traditions. So when we get the word of God and we pass it through the African culture, we make it of no effect. But if we look at how Jesus treated women with a lot of respect. In fact, even before we talk about Jesus, even from the Old Testament, we see a group of girls. I think there were 5. The 5 daughters of Zelophehad. They wanted their rights heard. They had a father who died, and by then the law was that a woman was not going to inherit land. But what did they do? They went to see Moses, and when they saw Moses, God said, what they have said is right. Give them their father's inheritance. You see that? So God brought women to a certain level. We see female judges, even in the Old Testament. But then when we come, even before we come to the New Testament, in the book of Malachi, we see God saying that the reason He is not going to answer your prayers is that you are fighting with your wife of your youth. We come to the book of Peter, we see Peter telling the men, he's saying that you should know how to live with women. You know, understand that these are weaker vessels, but if you don't want your prayers to be hindered, you must deal with women with a lot of wisdom. So there's a way God wants men to treat women, and that they will not abuse them. Now, it is true that the word of God has been used, especially when we talk about submission. We have overused the word. Mostly people say that it's because the word was first preached by men. So men projected a certain type of what God said about submission. But when you read that scripture, you see it says from verses 22, it says submitting one to another.
Yeah.
You see that? But then if I want, I can use the word of God to give out what I want it to give out, so that I would be the ultimate beneficiary.
Absolutely. Now, many survivors, you know, of abuse, they fear stigma, judgment, or being blamed for violence that they experience. How can the church transform itself into a safe and supportive space where women and girls feel comfortable reporting abuse and also seeking help?
So I think that for me, the church would become a safe space if the church is, number one, intentional about providing this safe space by creating, you know, post-violence counseling sessions. I think that people need therapy, and also the church insisting. You know, anything people hear consistently, they become it. So when the church, I'll give you an example. When HIV and AIDS came, there was a lot of stigma.
Yes.
There was a lot of stigma around it. But now it is not that case anymore. It is no longer the case. Why? Because there was a lot of education, there was a lot of campaign, there was a lot of money. So if the church intentionally creates that space by, one, teaching the evils of gender-based violence, secondly, insisting that if someone goes through that situation, it's not like they are weak, but that they need the help of everyone. Because especially among us women, you know, one of the challenges is that if I hear your story, I will not go and tell someone the story. You understand? I'll go and so you are not willing to tell me. You see that you are not willing to tell me. But if we can, the church can do that, and also the church should, where it can, provide safe houses. I think that the safe houses would help victims and survivors to temporarily move to the safe house as they are healing and on their way out.
Thank you very much for that. Now, reports also indicate that physical violence remains one of the most common forms of GBV in Zambia. Is there anything that as the community we can do to change the attitudes? And also there are certain cultural beliefs that make women vulnerable, you know, in our society, because maybe we believe that when a woman is going through certain abuse, they must keep quiet, they must not talk back, or tell anybody what's happening in the home, that actually normalize or tolerate violence against women. Is there anything that we can do as society?
Yes, as society, actually, we have a lot to do and a role to play. Number one is how we raise our children. Remember that the adults we have today were once children. So how we raise them, if we teach our children how to respect each other and respect every gender, we will have helped resolve the problem. Because if I understand that, oh, my sister is not a weak person, she is not one of the assets we have in the house. You see that, but she's a human being and deserves respect. And I am informed constantly by my mother, by my father, and I see how my father and my mother treats, and my father treats my mother. I will grow as a person that has respect for female or for other genders. Now, and also, apart from the home setup, even in counseling, the counseling should be designed in such a way that it is able to raise issues of gender-based violence, and not telling a woman to say, when you are being beaten, keep quiet, don't tell people, let no one know about it. Marriage is Shipikisha Club. Yes, marriage is commitment, but it is only a person that is alive that is going to be in marriage. If you die, there's no marriage. So when people that are being cancelled, they must be told, whether male or female, when this relationship threatens your life, it is time for you to speak up. It is time for you to move to a safe place whilst you are discussing this issue.
Now, Pastor Harawa, there's another worrying trend, that gender-based violence victims are often young girls and children, especially these days. You will agree with me that sometimes it's because of, there's no equal balance of power in relationships because older, and there's no equal balance of power in that relationship. What role should parents, schools, churches, and communities, play in ensuring that children are protected from abuse?
The first thing that the church should do, children. But when we are talking about relationships that someone is way older, it brings in the aspect of early child marriage as well. You see, so the church must speak against early child marriage. And I think that the government has been trying, even using traditional leaders, to speak against early child marriage. But other than that, is that also we need to teach financial independence. Yeah, we need to teach financial independence. And sometimes the young girls that find themselves in these relationships is when you have, you are not content with what you have. Yeah. The Bible says godliness and contentment is great gain. You see that. So if you are not content with what you have, you will now go and look for someone who will abuse you. You see that. You go and look for someone that is older. That is when you have not been forced into a relationship. But also the church must be quick to report such incidences to the authorities, so that people know that you can't go and hide in church. If you are discovered, and we must be a real brother and sisters keeper in the church, that we are able to tell when someone is going through abuse and they have not even voiced it out. We can tell that that child living in that house is being abused. Yeah.
And finally, Pastor, what message would you like to send to perpetrators of gender-based violence and also communities that choose to remain silent when abuse happens?
Okay, so the message I would like to send is, number one, we need to understand the power that is in both genders. There's a reason God created male and female. And if you are a man, violence is not a way to resolve a dispute. In dialogue, there is power. Any woman that is abused consistently, they lose their self-esteem and they stop being a good contribution to society, because they mirror life They look at life through the mirror of their pen. You see that. So as society, if we want a better tomorrow, we should know that both the girl and the boy are important. We should rise and protect. We should not keep these things as a secret, because one of the challenges that have been there that I have observed is that when a person goes to report, a woman goes to report a man that was beating her, the family will now arise and they will say, you want him to be arrested. They will forget about the victim. So it is important for us to, number one, be interested in the livelihood of everyone for a better tomorrow, because today it could be a sister-in-law, tomorrow it could be your own child, it could be you. So can we stand up and speak against gender-based violence and ensure that we have a safe society that we are all living in?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Pastor Harawa, for coming through to our Sunrise Breakfast Show, and thank you so much for joining us this morning and just shedding light on such an important issue that is affecting many lives, especially the women out there.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we still continue with our Sunrise Breakfast Show. We take a short break for now. We'll be back on the other side.
If it's not on Prime TV 2, verify it. Our dedicated reporters across the country bring you accurate, well-researched news, keeping you informed 24/7. If it's not on Prime TV 2, verify it. Our dedicated reporters across the country bring you accurate, well-researched news, keeping you informed 24/7. Catch us on Topstar Channel 110 and follow us on Facebook at Prime TV 2 Zambia. Prime TV 2, the home of breaking news.
What is love if you don't give it away?
Want to charm a woman anyway, because you are built to pursue.
A purpose marriage, really, and it takes a lot of intentionality.
True companionship is not proximity. It is a mutual knowing. Intentional love will always win. Join us for Love Diaries, where couples share their love stories, play fun games, and more. Love Diaries, where love is honest, learning is constant, and conversations matter. Love Diaries, love will always win.
What do we stand for? We stand for possibility, for the belief that every tomorrow begins with a choice made today. We stand for growth, for curiosity that pushes boundaries, for knowledge that prepares you not just to adapt, but to lead. We stand for community, for minds that don't just think, but connect, for hands that don't just build, but uplift. We stand for experiences that shape you, for friendships that anchor you, for courage that carries you beyond this place. Here you become more than a student. You become a maker of solutions, a believer in dreams, a contributor to something greater than yourself. This is where purpose meets possibility. This is where futures are built. Charles Brook Bassar University, where you stand for what matters.
All right, welcome back to our Sunrise Breakfast Show. I'm now joined by Jeremiah with sports, who will obviously be telling us what happened, what will be happening, and of course, what is happening currently in the world of sports. So I'll let you pick it up and update us.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning to you.
Good morning.
And this is your month, so we have to celebrate women, we have to celebrate you. So how are you celebrated here?
Here?
Yeah. I put you on the spot, but anyways, you can answer on Friday when I get back. All right, so let's get into the world of sports. There's so much happening, and of course, we just counting down to netball, the opening tournament that will happen on the 21st and 22nd. So every other team is making sure that they make amends and get ready for this season opener. Every tournament starts with every league starts with a tournament, and this is a great tournament that will start with these netball teams that will get together and make sure that they do exactly what they're supposed to do to show up and make sure that they get ready for the year. And we do have a lot of great great games that will be coming through, great matchups, great tournaments, and of course the great games that will be coming through throughout the year. And some of them will be, making sure that they get into the national team, as the national team is ready for a lot of tournaments that they will be participating in. So it's up to you to rise up and make sure that you are counted and get into the team. And we've been waiting for this as well. It's going to be on the 21st and 22nd as well, on Saturday and Sunday, the Amigo tournament or Amigo Cup. This has got 251 players that are going to participate in this great tournament or great team, great game. 217 men and 34 women participating in this and wanting to get the trophy and a lot of money that they will have this month in their month, of course, the month of March. So they should be doing great things to make sure that they get there. And one beautiful thing is that the last 16, they will get a t-shirt, at least a jersey, very beautiful jerseys, not those Climplins that we all know, but I think the beautiful jersey that will be given to them as a souvenir. So it's a beautiful moment. Everybody else will walk away, obviously, with a lot of interactions, so many people that will come through. We've got Eastern Province showing up, we've got Southern Province showing up, we've got Central Province showing up as well, Copper Belt are showing up as well to bring in some of the cream de la cream of players in as far as pool is concerned. So we'll see the creative and how pool is going to be at this particular moment. And of course, everything is done and the rules have been put in place. Communication is better. I think the organizers should be given a pat on the back, because they've been really working very hard in the background, doing everything possible. We're talking about Uncle Mark. He's always been outstanding, making sure that everything is working. Michael Tombo or Mark Chalwe, he's been fantastic. And Kololo has been really great. Also just making sure that everybody knows everything that is happening, everything that is supposed to happen with these particular games, and of course the rules, the regulations, everything given to all the players in time, so they know about it, and the draws will be done very soon. And not forgetting Kuma, who's been really fantastic, making sure that he finds these sponsors. And they've been going to provinces, different provinces. Copper Belt, they went, they had to go and bring out some of the greatest players from the Copper Belt. So we'll see how things are just going to be. And MMA this weekend on Saturday is going to be amazing on Scream Club. Absolutely, these are some of the matchups that we're looking for. Mwene will be fighting the Ugandan, and it's going to be amazing at Screen Club. Of course, it's going to be amazing for her to fight, especially that her friend has moved to pro. She has to really get a pro card as well. So let's support her. And we've got Prince. These are some of the matchups that are very, very great matchups. And these fights are always difficult, are always fantastic, always great. And no doubt moment when it comes to this. And this is how we are supposed to at least help Mutinda Mwene, so that we get this fighter that is coming from Uganda, so we can help her and bring out some money, especially those that can even just fund some of them. If this bill 20,000 kwacha, if you can pay it really, and the number is there on the screen, so that you can actually help out, so for her to have as many fights as possible, because it's really difficult to find the matchups for these ladies in Mutinta Mwene. At one point, she wasn't even fighting because she couldn't have. In Zambia, there's nobody that wants to stand and fight against her. Chipito is in a different weight category, and she's in a different weight category, so it's difficult for them to be matched up. But of course, at one point, they were matched up, and Mwene beat Miracle to unanimous decision. So you never know. Let's support her. Let's see how this is going to be. But of course, you can find yourselves at, and these are some of the performances that will happen The Dope Boys are going to be part of it, so you can go and enjoy a Scream Cup. It's going to start at 15 hours, so you have to be there ready and watch all these games. We've got so many fights that will happen, so it's up to you to go there and enjoy on Saturday. But I'll give you more information on Friday. This was supposed to be in the Copper Belt, but they changed, and now it's going to be at Scream Club. That's where in LUSAKA, that's Long Acres or KK Mall, as it's actually fondly known. But of course, it was known as Long Acres Mall, but then they changed it to KK Mall, so you can go and enjoy yourselves to the fullest. And well, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be packed. So those that loves music, you can go and enjoy the Dope Boys, as they will be performing as you enjoy the matchups. And those are some of the fighters that are going to be part of it. And now let's get to football, the MTN FAR Super League. And one thing that I've always talked about is after the games that happened on the weekend, I think we had so many, a lot of things to reflect on, and so many things that we wanted to talk about in as far as football is concerned. And we haven't been talking about it because the change of the calendar. First of all, we used to have games from March to December the same year, but the calendar wasn't the case. It wasn't the case. I think we didn't need to change. But the Football Association of Zambia, Andrew Kamanga's executive, felt like if they are going to change, the teams will be compelled to work on their pitches, to work on the grounds, to work on everything that has to do with football. But unfortunately, so many years from 2019 to date, nothing has been worked on. No team has worked on their stadium, and this is very difficult because you can imagine that I do miss some of the games I need to watch because of weather. You know, I'm not going to watch football or I'm not going to go cover football at Imboela Stadium with my cameras, you know, and then knowing that it's going to rain. It will be soaked. And then here is the thing. Imagine that Power Dynamos has come, or Nkana is playing at Imboela Stadium, for example, and it's packed to rafters, it's packed to capacity, and it starts raining. Everybody will be pushing themselves to go to the VIP. But imagine even the VIP, you are not going to be protected. You might even get soaked at the VIP section. And then you've got cameras, you've got microphones, and you've got laptops that you need to use for broadcasting, for capturing interviews and everything. You know, like I have to get all these things. I'm not going. So that is one of the things. And some of the fans can't come because of the same thing. And teams have lost revenue stadium. And it was muddy when the game was played, very muddy, such that teams couldn't play the games that they were supposed to play. It was very muddy. And I think it was really difficult for teams to play better football that they have to play. And what we're doing is the surface is being damaged. That's number one. Number two, the players really can get injuries, and we saw some of those that were getting injured. It's not really good football because it's muddy. You can't play, the game can't flow. And then some of the repercussions that comes in is games like this. Of course, this is Lere Stadium or Godfrey Chitalu Stadium in Kawe. The game couldn't happen because of the water. You can even see they really tried to sweep the water out, but of course it was too muddy. It was unplayable. They can't play the game, and the game ended up being postponed between Kawe Warriors and Zanaco. All these repercussions that are coming through, and we've seen games played twice. You know, you start the game, you play it for 50 minutes, and then the rain starts. You can't play on, and of course you have to play the following day. It's expensive. So the question is, can we get back to the old calendar, or what do we have to do to move forward? Those are some of the questions, and I think the debate can go on. And if you are able to debate, go on our platform and just put your debate there. So let's get to see how you really have to look at all these things. And some of the games that came through, Zesco United playing against Power Dynamos. Zesco scored first, and Power Dynamos came through and beat them 3-2. Of course, Napsa Stars and Buffaloes drew 1-0. So is Nkwazi and Mutondo Stars, they drew 1-0 as well. And they ended up having, you know, a very hat trick, the second hat trick of the season. And it's unfortunate that this guy is not Zambian. Of course, the first hat trick was from Zambian Saddam, who scored, Saddam Yusuf from Red Arrows, who scored in the third game, or week 3 of our MTN FAR Super League games. And he scored the first hat-trick against Mines United. So hopefully we might have another hat-trick, but we hope for that. Anyways, we do have some fixtures that will be coming through today. Some of those great fixtures, and we'll be looking forward to seeing tomorrow. We have some fixtures as well. In Lusaka, we have 2 fixtures tomorrow, 1 fixture today. So if you really feel like going to watch these games, you can go and watch. I'm only hoping that the weather will be favorable to watch these games and support our Zambian football. And coming through tomorrow, and of course, this is the standings. Of course, Power Dynamos have gone on top of the table. They are the defending champions and the league leaders at the moment, and looking forward to winning this particular league and defend the title. And they're saying they want to be like Mamelodi Sundowns, who have been perpetually winning the PSL. But this time around, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I think it's possible for them because they've got a very good team and they're performing very well. Every other player is putting in the best. And as the players have been saying, in Indeke Kaputukap, and for them, they just want to get to Champions League. And as we talk about CAF Confederations Cup and CAF Champions League, the monies are huge. And this time around, it's $6 million for the winners who are going to win this year's tournament. And for the CAF Confederations Cup, where Zesco United were playing, it's about $4 million. And you can imagine how much money that can help in terms of Power Dynamos and Zesco United if they were to get into the finals. If they got into the finals and won that money, they could have been helped, and in so many ways, obviously. And lastly, of course, our very own Chicken George Rwandamina and Oswald Mutapa have picked a team, and this is a national team, the 4 national tournament that will be happening in Botswana. We've got Botswana, Zimbabwe, and of course Zambia as well in part of it, and yeah, so they will be playing in Malawi. So they will be preparing, and it's going to be in Malawi. That's where the games will be. So this is a team that has been picked, and for me, there's Kings Kangwa. A lot of people have been asking, but remember that Kings Kangwa was suspended for 4 games. He's not going to play. So starting with these games, he's not going to be part of it. The next 3 games is not going to be part of it. The next 3 games of Chipolopolo Boys is not going to be part of it because of what happened at the Africa Cup of Nations. That's where he was suspended. There were so many suspensions and nobody talked about it, but he was suspended. He's out for 4 games, and we'll hope for the best as the Chipolopolo Boys are going to play. So this is a team that has been picked by Chicken George Rwandamina and Oswald Mutapa Jr., who is taking the mantle of the Chipolopolo Boys in the interim position. And their first games will be the 4 national tournament that will be happening. And let's see how they're going to perform. Let's see how the team is going to perform, and big up to them and hope for the best. And yeah, that is much more that we have in terms of sports. Let's go and support the team. I know that we get kind of getting used to the weather, so let's go and support the teams that we can support. The Little Arrows are playing. Let's go and watch the numbers.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, the time has come for us to pack our bags and, of course, close this morning's conversations. But thank you so much to our dear, lovely viewers for being with us throughout this entire time, from the start to finish. And thank you so much, Jeremiah, for coming through. From all of us here at Prime TV2, the home of breaking news, thank you so much for spending this morning with us. On behalf of Michael Himosa Jr., it's goodbye and do stay tuned.
If it's not on Prime TV2, verify it. Our dedicated reporters across the country bring you accurate, well-researched news, keeping you informed 24/7. Catch us on Topstar Channel 110 and follow us on Facebook at Prime TV2 Zambia. Prime TV2, the home of breaking news.
What is love if you don't give it away?
I want to charm a woman anyway because you are built to pursue
A purpose marriage, really, and it takes a lot of intentionality.
True companionship is not proximity. It is a mutual knowing. Intentional love will always win. Join us for Love Diaries, where couples share their love stories, play fun games, and more. Love Diaries, where love is honest, learning is constant, and conversations matter. Love Diaries, love will always win.
The US wasn't alone in sanctioning the company. Many European countries followed suit.